Hi, beautiful friends and book lovers. I hope that you're all doing well. If you're new here, my name is Heather, and here at Heather's Book Review, I love to read and review mainly thrillers, but I will read just whatever I'm feeling. If you're not new here, you've recently heard that I did cancel my Amazon Audible membership. I just wasn't using it enough to justify paying for like the monthly credit. And I had like 8 credits. Oops. Clearly, I'm just like messing around with my hands too much. In the last video I filmed, I also dropped my book while filming. So that was my lipstick. So I had about like 8 Amazon Audible credits. So I got a bunch of books to listen to when I canceled, since, you want to make sure that you get your money's worth. You've been paying for it. So one of the books that I got was One by One by Freida McFadden, which is what I am reviewing today. At the end of last year, I had been paying attention to just all of the YouTube comments that I had received in 2022. And the most requested book for me to read was The Housewife, right? Or is it The House Guest? No, The Housewife by Freida McFadden. I'll link up my review up here. It was just my most requested thriller. So I read that, watched that video for all my thoughts, but I didn't love it. My biggest takeaway was that, like, yes, it was a thriller with potential for sure, but the writing just felt very amateurish and just, honestly, I hate to say this, but like cringy at times. Just like the dialogue with the characters and whatever, I didn't love it. So jumping into One by One, I've also read Never Lie as well, which I didn't think was as cringe. Like, I actually did enjoy that one. But this book, oh my goodness, like, the dialogue between these characters drove me fucking nuts. I just could not, like, it was just so cringe at times, okay? The actual premise of the thriller is great. It's these 3 couples are supposed to go to this cabin, and they get there's some troubles along the way, and they basically all get stranded in these woods, this like forest, and you don't know who to trust at all. So I liked that setting. Although the characters just drove me nuts. The dialogue, again, just like, it's a range of like the words that are used, the lack of vocabulary. There's a lack of just like, honestly, like basic vocabulary. Like, I don't know. It just feels like, again, like I'm reading a book that's written by like a sophomore in high school. Like, I'm just like, there's no depth. There's no like, it just feels like she's sitting there typing out these like cheesy conversations with not a whole lot of thought put into it. This is completely my own opinion, but this book was almost worse for me in terms of cringe level, like, than The Housewife was. Oh my gosh, sorry. It's The Housemaid. What was I saying? The Housewife, The House Guest? I couldn't even get it right. The Housemaid. Okay, it felt worse to me than The Housemaid. And if you've seen that video, I like give specific examples of what was like making me roll my eyes. Like, are you kidding me? But this book, I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. It was, oh gosh, I don't know. On my rating scale, I guess I would give it a decent but flawed, simply for the fact that, again, I think her thrillers have a really good premise. Like, I love the idea of 6 couples secluded in a forest, like, you don't know who to trust. Like, I love that. I really do. But it didn't feel super unique. The dialogue with the characters was annoying. The characters themselves was, like, just annoying. The ending just felt like whatever. Like, I don't know. It just, honestly, I was listening to it and I'm like, I just need to, like, wrap this the fuck up, honestly. A star rating, I'd probably give it like a 2 stars. And even though I just said what I rated it on my rating scale, like, it's very close to like a chore to finish, which is my most bottom rating. But simply for the fact that I did think the premise was good, and I did, I thought it had potential. And at times I was like, okay, like, what's going to happen? it was still like almost bottom tier for me. If you've read this book, I am going to share some of my thoughts that will contain spoilers of just things that I wrote down while I was listening to it. So if you're new here and you don't want to hear those spoilers, I would love if you could hit that subscribe button and that post notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new bookish related video. But I am going to get chatting with some spoilers right now. Okay, so Claire and Jack's affair was so stressful. I'm like, they're basically cheating in front of the whole group, and they don't think that like anyone they're on the vacation with is gonna notice. Like, I don't know. That just seemed super like weird to me. I also wrote down in the book, while I was listening to the book, is the narrator a man or a woman? ? The voice leaves you up to guessing. And I feel like that was supposed to be the big like twist at the end, was like, oh my gosh, it was, I don't even remember her name, but it was a girl. Like the whole time you're kind of thinking it's a boy based on the past like point of views about like his baseball cap and like cutting his hair super short to his scalp. But the whole time I was kind of thinking like, okay, I think like the ending twist is going to be it's like one of the girls, and it was. So like then I was kind of bummed too, because I feel like I called that super early on. Sometimes I did think that maybe the POV was Jack, but because he was saying that he knows a lot about berries from like Boy Scouts, and like I know there was like that whole mess with the poisoning in the berries, but I don't know. And then I was like, maybe it's Noah because he was lying about having a cell service bar or whatever. But no, I mean, I just had it in the back of my mind. I'm like, I think maybe the big twist would be like you think it's one of the guys based off the point of view, but it's actually one of the girls. Then I wrote that it felt silly to me that the 5 of them just left Lindsay's like dead body. Like they act like they've been in the wilderness for a week, right? And they're like near death if they don't get help right away. Like you haven't even been in there that long. How are you just gonna leave her dead body there? Like, I don't know. That just felt weird. All right, here's an example of cringe writing to me. So I said the writing seems silly again. Claire says something about her son being into wolves, and that's how she knows wolves travel in packs. I literally was like, I'm sorry, what? Like that is, it's common sense. I mean, there are literally phrases like, oh, that person's a lone wolf. Like, no, everybody knows that wolves travel in packs, right? Like, or is that just a weird fact that I know? Like, no. And that's what I felt like with the housemaid. My comment was like, she's like, I'm saying hola, but I don't know if that's Spanish. And I'm like, you don't know if it's Spanish? Like, it was one of those moments when I was like, because your son is into wolves and did a report, that's how you know that wolves travel and hunt in packs. I don't know. Like, it's that stuff that just grinds my gears, because I'm like, it just almost makes, it gives off this vibe to me like, oh, like as a reader, you might be like stupid kind of thing. Like, I don't know. It's like, why are you saying common sense things and like acting like they're not common sense? That, it just drives me nuts. I don't know what it is. It just drives me nuts. And it's happened to me now twice in 2 of the 3 books of hers that I've read. And I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty sure I got more of her books with my Amazon credits. So I'm going to truck through, even though it appears that I'm not enjoying it really. But I bought them, so I'm not going to that's not me. If I bought it, I'm going to read it or I'm going to listen to it. So yeah, I truthfully don't even really remember the ending. Like, I know there was like that big shootout in the cabin, and it was like her best friend being like, you two are shitty people. And like, then he has the magnet or whatever in his jacket that they planted, but like it's supposed to, if she finds it, she may think that he was the one like fucking up the compass or whatever. I don't know. It was whatever. I mean, it was nothing like jaw-dropping. So anyways, that's my very negative review for 1 by 1. But hopefully you enjoyed it, or if you were similar to me, you know, there's always another book. But yes, please leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.